week's episode of One Piece, Trafalgar Law attempts to delve into the shadowy backstory of Don Quixote Doflamingo and his previous top executive, Corazon. Stay tuned. At the very end of this video will be my quick-fire review of the final episode of The Rolling Girls. You know something big is about to go down in One Piece when that music starts up. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun! This week's episode was really simple, but it definitely had its highlights. Basically, all of the big battles of Dressrosa are getting set up in this week's episode. We already had Zoro versus Pika, and in this week's episode, their battle has already begun. Basically, it's just Pika swinging his sword around like a madman, while Zoro seems to be having one hell of a time. He promised that he would never lose a battle again, and definitely, he's basically using Pika like as a springboard to sort of test his abilities. Although, maybe Pika hasn't revealed all of his abilities quite yet. We also get another battle between Frankie and Senor Pink, and the suplexing can continue. Frankly, I can't wait to see their battle. It's definitely one of my favorite of the entire Dressrosa arc. But the rest of the episode is basically just more setup, getting to see all the other side characters. King Riku is being reaffirmed by everyone, the Tontada tribe, Rebecca, Violet, that basically, Luffy's awesome. He's here to save the day with the Straw Hat Pirates, and that's just the way it's going to be. But the biggest scene from this week's episode, in my personal opinion, and the thing that's most important to take away from this one, is the scene where Luffy and all the other guys in Law are literally sliding down Pika's body, and it seems to be going on forever. But remember, this is an anime, you gotta go by anime logic. It's just like Planet Namek. It took forever to blow up, so they're gonna go on one hell of a long bull ride slide. What's really great about this scene, though, is that Law is finally starting to get into the backstory of his past and Doflamingo, and he mentions the character of Corazon, and big spoiler alert, this is Doflamingo's brother. And this is going to be leading into an even more bigger backstory, which is just going to blow our minds. But that's pretty much the entire episode this week. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of One Piece? Super simple episode, but it certainly had its highlighted moments, and really the biggest reveal is about Doflamingo's brother. That is massive, and that's all going to lead into the backstory behind Doflamingo and how he became the man that he is today, and that's just going to get us all more pumped up for the big inevitable battle with him. But again, this was just another setup. It even opened up by showing us the map and the charts where all the different characters are going to be. This was basically a refresher episode, especially if people are just deciding to jump in on the Dressrosa arc at this point. And I can't completely fault them for that, because even though One Piece is a series that's been running for a long time, they still have to try and to draw in new viewers, and this is an attempt to do it. And the fact is, we are getting closer and closer to the manga, so they have to bide their time just a little bit. Otherwise, this was just kind of an average episode of the series, but like I said, it definitely had its exciting moments. Frankie, Senor Pink, that's always awesome. The minute Frankie just appears, I laugh my ass off with all the weird noises he's making, and just the fact that he even refers to himself as a pervert. He's the self-proclaimed pervert of the group, and he's completely okay with that, and that's really funny. And then you got Senor Pink, who's just as ridiculous. You know, these two fighting is definitely one of the weirdest battles in One Piece history. Zoro versus Pika is short-lived, but it's still pretty damned entertaining, and I especially love the scene at the end where Luffy was deflecting all of the bullets with his Gumu Gumu no abilities. It's pretty awesome. But next week's episode is the one that we really need to look out for. If you look at the preview, there is a big spoiler, so spoiler warning right here. Next week's episode is going to be the battle between Sabo and Fujitora. So let's get pretty freaking excited for that. Just the imagery from the preview alone got me excited. Just Sabo covered in fire. This is going to be the very first time we've really seen him go all out. We've already seen him destroy the ring. Now he's going to be fighting against an opponent and a freaking blind swordsman Navy Admiral with gravity powers. This better be freaking awesome, that's all I gotta say. What I will say is this week's episode right here was still pretty good. It was really entertaining, even though it was kind of a slow episode, but it was still just kind of an average episode of the series, but it'll still get you pumped up and you'll still get some entertainment and some fun spots from this episode. So I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5. Pretty good episode of One Piece. If you're a fan of the manga, you're a fan of the anime, check it out. You might see something you like. Welcome to my quick-fire review of the final episode of The Rolling Girls. You know what? The final episode of the series just sort of reaffirmed how I felt about Rolling Girls from the beginning. It's got beautiful animation, amazing artwork, and the backgrounds are just gorgeous. Beyond belief. I think that The Rolling Girls works really well as an anime music video. As an actual TV show with characters and a story and a message, it's just muddled, messy, and all over the freaking place. I am not happy with the story. I don't like the fact that the first 2 episodes of the series had the highest production value, and they completely bait and switched us with the fact that they made it seem like it was going to be a big action show. At the end of this week's episode, we get a shot of freaking Matcha Green fighting against this group of Sentai warriors. Why couldn't the show just been all about that? That would have been so freaking awesome! It would have been so unique and cool, and it would have been like a really great parody of Super Sentai altogether, but instead we get this weird story about all of these girls who just go on these random adventures being cute because that's just it, and then it all ends with one of them being an octopus alien who gets reunited with her family and then just goes off after a big freaking robot war, which makes no damn sense. I honestly had no idea what was going on in the final episode of the series. I didn't know why this weird pirate girl was doing what she was doing. Maybe it was some sort of weird grudge of some sort in the weird octopus pots. It's just confusing. It's ridiculous. But the show is so gorgeous. That's what tears me apart about it, because it looks so nice. The music cues are really good. That one sequence where the music kicked in was really nice. That's why I said I think the show just really works as like an animated like music video. It just fits better for that type of genre. But otherwise, that's it. I don't want to beat a horse to death. I just didn't really care for the show overall. The production on it is great. The story, though, and the characters, I just don't care about any of them. I'm going to give the final episode of the series a 2 out of 5. I didn't think it was a good finale. I didn't think it really wrapped up the story arc well, and really, the show was just a mess, in my opinion. But it was a beautiful mess. So, there it is. That's my thoughts on The Rolling Girls. There it is. Just didn't live up to its potential. I need to get out of this review now. Abort. Abort now! Thank you guys for watching my reviews. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And before you leave, please tell me what you thought about this week's episode of One Piece. Did you have a favorite scene from this week's episode? Are you excited to learn a little bit more about Doflamingo's original family? And what do you want to see from the rest of the Dressrosa arc? Remember guys, if you have not subscribed to our channel, make sure to go ahead and do that so you can see all of our latest anime and manga reviews. Follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. Thank you guys very much again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!